It was the gift of the dying Andalite, a powerful weapon for us to use in resisting the Yerks. It was also a dangerous, deadly curse. Like any weapon, I guess.
Well, unless it's a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world.
When I opened the book, I didn't know what I was gonna find. I saw the flashing light just coming down. Oh, what a beautiful sight. Then I was flying. Oh, super book. Well, I was afraid to look. Super book. Oh, super book.
Thus far, Jake has been the most underdeveloped character of our main five. Number 1, The Invasion, was largely exposition, and didn't allow us into Jake's thoughts as much as I feel it should have. In many ways, I really consider this Jake's first book, which will largely deal with Jake's relationship with Tom. I'll get to that. Our book opens in Jake's house as Tom is leaving for a meeting with the Sharing. Jake mentions through narration that he thinks that Tom's Yerk has been moving up in rank and is currently involved in a super-secret project. After Tom leaves, Jake goes to his room and practices morphing a cockroach. The book tries to play up on how gross it is that Jake has to touch a cockroach to acquire its DNA, but I personally love bugs, and can't help but feel that Jake is a big pussy. Long story short, Jake morphs cockroach, hijinks ensue. He gets with the rest of the Animorphs at Cassie's barn and gives them the story, and Cassie verbally chews him out for trying out a new morph unsupervised. Which would be a bit more convincing, Cassie, if you hadn't done the exact same thing 2 books ago. Anyway, onto Super Secret Project. Jake's been tracking Tom's calls and discovered he's been talking to a lot of different doctors, all assigned to the same wing of the same hospital. The Yerks controlling a hospital is a pretty big deal. Anyone who comes in as a patient will most likely leave as a controller. But the big question is, do Yerks fall for the all the ice cream you can eat trick? That night, Jake and Tom have a conversation at the dinner table. Since both of them are hiding something from the other, they each have to act as the person whom the other thinks them to be, even if one knows the other is faking being the person he's pretending to be, if the other doesn't pretend to be other than, oh dear, I've gone cross-eyed. Anyway, it's a great scene with a lot of subtle tension, and I'd read some of it, but I'd have to include all of it, and frankly, my Batman voice needs a nap. Jake goes to bed and has a dream. One of the running themes throughout the series are the various nightmares the Animorphs have been having. Usually they're about the disgusting aspects about the animals they've morphed. For example, in number 2, The Visitor, Rachel had a nightmare concerning her true morph's desire to eat maggots and dead flesh. However, this is the first time the dreams have been symbolic in any way. He recounts the dreams to the Animorphs the next day.
In the dream, I'm in my tiger morph, and I'm stalking Tom, following him on his trail. I'm feeling the tiger's eagerness. You know, that predator feeling, the hunger, the desire to kill. Anyway, in my dream, I'm hunting my own brother. Only when I get close, he turns around, and it isn't Tom anymore. It's... I stopped myself before I finished the sentence. I'd already said too much. I just don't want anything to happen to Tom, I said lamely. It's not just what might happen to him if there's a fight. It's... Look, I think Tom is important to this whole hospital plan somehow. I think maybe he's in charge. If we manage to stop this thing, who knows what they'll do to Tom. I mean, maybe Visor 3 just kills Tom's Yerk. But we've all seen Visor 3 in action. He likes to make examples out of anyone who fails him. He could kill Tom. Rachel whistled softly. If we succeed, Tom fails. If he fails, Visor 3 may kill him. That's about the way it is, yeah, I said. So, what do? Marco asked. We forget this mission, Cassie suggested.
Batman voice, I thought I told you to go to bed. Well, of course, forgetting is out of the question. The Animorphs acquire cockroach morphs as well, and all practice the morph together, which is a good bit to show that the Animorphs are indeed evolving as a group. That night, Jake, Rachel, Marco, Cassie, and Axe morph Roach and slip into the Sharing HQ, while Tobias keeps guard outside. Rachel whines that she's missing her programs, which is either really inappropriate at this stage in the books or Rachel sucks at humor. Inside, they listen in on a Yeerk meeting. Visitor 3 shows up in a human morph and lays out the plan. The governor will be needing minor surgery soon, and the Yeerks have managed to convince his staff to send him to the Yeerk-controlled hospital. Rachel reveals that the governor is a popular choice for the next presidential election, meaning the Yeerks are aiming for the White House. Before the Animorphs leave, a controller spots him.
Visitor, forgive my interruption, but there are several small insects here. A general murmur from the crowd, and one voice saying, "Don't worry, they are only cockroaches. They are everywhere on this planet." "Fool!" Visitor 3 exploded. "Do you think Andalites can morph creatures so small? Someone kill this fool for me." Blam! Blam!
Damn! Just how the hell does Visitor 3 get away with all of this? The city this takes place in must have a record for missing people. So the Animorphs scatter like cockroaches. Jake gets a face full of bug spray, but Tobias picks him up and he demorphs on top of a Boston market. Tobias spies Tom leaving with Visitor 3, and the two seem tight. Jake contemplates what might happen to Tom should the Animorphs stop the Yeerk's plans. Visitor 3 just killed a guy for saying cockroaches exist. He makes Amon Goyth look like a slacker. Of course, they can't back out of the plan now with the stakes so high. But who cares about that? We need a few pages of Jake playing basketball with these guys named Juan and Terry, who we'll never see again.
Animorphs, the great sci-fi epic!
Marco does some secret spy work, pretending to be a reporter over the phone, and he manages to get the governor's schedule. Marco is noticeably psyched about the mission. Discovering Visitor 1 was his mother made Marco much more dedicated to the cause, because character development is awesome. So now they have a date. But who cares about that? Jake needs to buy his mother a birthday present.
Animorphs, the great sci-fi epic!
He brings Cassie and Rachel along, and Rachel decides to turn her annoying level up to 11 as she drags them from shop to shop, going gooey-eyed over some great deals. When did we decide that Rachel wasn't going to be a tough-as-nails warrior and instead legally blonde?
Have you shopped for anything? I feel like I'm dealing with Axe here. I mean, are you two from this planet? We're looking for something on sale, something that says, "Mom, I still think of you as being young and cool." Something classic, understated. Most likely we're talking a department store. That department store, second floor, toward the front, on the right. That's where we want to be. Look for sale signs. They'll be red with black letters.
The Earth is being invaded by aliens. So finally we get to the plan. The Animorphs will morph fly and try to find the small portable Yeerk pool the Yeerks must have stashed in the hospital. Then Jake jokes on the old version of the fly, going, "Help me!" Then Cassie does it. And then Marco does it. And then everybody does it. Yes, we are aware of the fly. Come up with another joke. Anyway, they get into the hospital and start looking for the pool. Flies are small and mobile, but the feature the book focuses on the most is their sense of smell, which gives us this line.
"I smell poop. I smell a banana."
I swear I'm getting that tattooed. So Jake, Cassie, and Axe discover the Yeerk pool, adapted from a hospital jacuzzi. It's got about 100 Yeerks in it, and in a bit of surprising ruthlessness, Jake sets the hot tub on boil without the slightest bit of regret. Some controllers crash the party, and in a tussle, Jake gets winged by a bullet and falls headfirst into the pool. The Animorphs morph into big, dangerous things and get out of there, with Jake riding on the back of Cassie's horse morph, suffering from a lung full of Yeerk juice. However, things aren't right.
I saw all of this, but in a distant way, as if I was watching it all on TV. My eyes moved left, right. They moved all on their own, like someone else was focusing them. Cassie. I tried to say her name. Cassie. But no sound came from my mouth.
Don't struggle, Jake.
A head in my voice said,
It's pointless.
What? Who was saying that? What was? Then a laugh only I could hear.
Put that primitive human brain to work, Jake. Jake, the Animorph.
It sneered.
Jake, the servant of the Andalite filth.
Then I knew. I knew what the voice was. A Yeerk. A Yeerk in my own head. I was a controller.
Okay.